And hello everyone, welcome to my Shogun 2 inspired event. Um, this is a special Hellish Court event that I based on the Shogun 2 campaign, the Total War campaign that is. A really fun game taking place in the Sengoku Jidai, if you're unfamiliar, and we will be using that game a little bit most likely for this event as well, so that'll be really exciting. This is the map that we're working with. At this point, we're just waiting for orders from each of the clans. I have orders from 2 of them. All right, I'm just reading a message. It looks like we've got orders from the Takeda clan, and we're waiting for orders from the Oda and the Date at this point. All right. So to the Oda clan and the Date clan, we really need you to send those orders ASAP so that we can get on to the event. I guess you could also choose to literally do nothing too. Like, there's actually no obligation to move your armies if you don't want to. Just let me know that that's what you want to do, because the event at this point is hinging on everybody submitting their turn. That's why I tried to message you guys like in advance, like make sure you guys get me those orders and try drafting them well before the event if you can. But I get that it's not easy, especially if you're trying to communicate with everybody in your clan. But we do have the Mori and the Takeda orders at this point. Okay, let me just double check. Yes, I'm not looking at my DMs on my browser Discord, so that's good. Obviously, I'll have to be sure not to do that. I disabled desktop notifications, so we shouldn't have any issues there. Because obviously the orders of each of the clans should be kept secret, because we're playing everybody's turn at exactly the same time, if that was not clear. So it's somewhat like the campaign is in the actual game. I added some rules on top and stuff to try and make it as balanced as possible. Unfortunately, as you can see, the Date are all the way out here, so they're kind of unable to attack Kyoto right away. But they at least do have a clear shot to attack one of the clans that has a shot on Kyoto. So, and they can get there in time. You do have to hold Kyoto for 6 turns. That's just a reminder. So you can't just take Kyoto and it's like, boom, you've won. It's not quite that simple. You've got to, it's to simulate the fact that you can't just, in real Japanese history, you couldn't just march on Kyoto and say you're the shogun and everybody would necessarily listen to you. Uh, if you go in as a conqueror, that might turn all the clans against you. So you gotta prove that you're the strongest and hold the capital. for a set period of time, just like in the game. Just the daimyo chiefs. Good question. So the daimyo is whoever you appoint, just whoever you think is best to lead your clan. We have orders from the Oda. They will go straight. It looks like, not surprising. There's not many other directions they can go. Okay, what's the Date gonna do? All I'll say is I'm not going to get into like huge specifics of what each clan is doing, but it's going to look very chaotic. That was kind of by design. I wanted this first turn to really start with a bang. So you're going to see like what exactly it's going to look like. Once we have the orders in, I need the Date clan to send their orders as soon as possible. So Tau and lands. Tau, if you're the only one available, just go ahead and need the Date orders. And then we can get started. This will make things really interesting, actually. And in fact, I'm not going to reveal what's going on yet, but I have a feeling I'll need another tab. That's all I'll say. Yeah, this is extremely interesting. Need the Dante orders. Yeah. I know it's a little confusing at first. I promise it will be intuitive once we get straight into it. Um, for now, I just need orders from each of the daimyo, and then it'll all make sense as we go. Um, So I don't want to wait too long for them to submit the orders. I've pinged them both. Oak and Vinu, you guys are in the chat with Tao. If you could poke him and get his attention, because I think Tao is gonna have to be de facto daimyo for his clan, as I've heard nothing from Lands at the moment, unless they're discussing something behind the scenes. I don't want to rush people, but because it is expected that you're gonna spend some time discussing stuff, but. I just haven't received any type of response yet, so. And if you guys are curious, if you're curious how I did this, I got the map off of this site, and this is how I'm going to be coloring in the territories. It's just a lot easier this way. Mapchart.net/Japan, and it just shows each of the prefectures. And it's not 100% accurate to what it actually would have been in the Sengoku period, obviously. A lot of these territories would have been subdivided and all the rest of it. It's complicated, but for the purposes of this event, we have simplified it. And I roughly placed the clans where they would have been historically. The Oda are kind of down here, which is a little bit off, but it's just there's only so much space, and I did want to add the Tokugawa clan as a contender as well, so kind of mashed everyone together. And I'm sure some people were excited to see the Hattori clan, which is a famous clan that a lot of people like playing in the multiplayer of Shogun 2, as well as the campaign for a challenge. A small clan, obviously noted for their ninja, but they were a samurai clan primarily, not a ninja clan. But because they were sort of vassals of the Tokugawa and allies of the Oda clan, I just decided to get rid of them. And so they're kind of de facto Tokugawa vassals, essentially. And the Tokugawa in Shogun 2, I believe, do get some interesting ninja units anyway. But since nobody's playing as the Tokugawa clan, that's not going to play a role. And so some clans are left vacant, but it's not a huge deal. Reminds you of Risk. Yeah, it's one of my inspirations as well as just like wargaming in general. Yeah. Yeah, it works pretty similar to that. All right, I'm gonna get into voice chat and let's see what Tao has to say. I don't want to. He doesn't have to say his. Well, actually, it doesn't matter. Everybody sent their order, so he can just say what he's gonna do. The orders, once they're sent, are set in stone. So,
Oh,
Try something.
hello.
hey Tao. So I haven't
Hey,
heard anything from Lands, so I'm gonna need you to send me orders for your clan, I
We're
guess.
discussing this right
All
now.
right, I'll back off then. All right, thank you. Okay, I'm glad I didn't come in when they were discussing something crucial. We'll wait then. It's not a huge deal. Um, Actually, I should DM Warden. I'll do it on my phone, just on the off chance that I open something sensitive from one of the clans. Um, yeah, it'd be better to do it this way. All right, beautiful. So Tao is just discussing stuff. Maybe he's making alliances. Who knows? Nothing in the rule says anything about cooperation or alliances, but what the rules do say is that to win, you do have to hold Kyoto. So you don't. You're a loser if you're not the one holding it, in effect. So while you can form an alliance, at some point you do have to go in and take the victory. You can't just win by being part of an alliance. And that's just to make things interesting, because otherwise, like you could have three clans team up together and they'll just win, and there's nothing the other clan can do, and yeah. So it's kind of like the Shogun 2 campaign. Like, yes, you can form alliances, but at some point you do have to put your foot down and take all the territory that you need to take, and go from there. I guess while we're waiting, I can get Shogun 2 ready to go. So I think we're gonna need that game very soon. I sent Warden a DM, so hopefully he'll be around. But if not, Piper, if you can be ready, I'll be ready, of course, as well. If Vinu can be ready as well, that'd be wonderful. Yeah, so I know Piper's got the game as well. That's actually really nice. I get that not everyone does though, so that's why I formatted stuff the way I did, where you guys have to send people who are operating the game orders and to send them like what unit builds you want to do and stuff like that. Just so that you still have control over what's going on, and I'm not, for example, piloting it myself or something and whatnot. It'll be interesting to see what you guys come up with too. And of course, after you saw the Vanguard rule, so basically, if a big army, and that a big army just means two armies or more, fights another big army of equal size. So say it's a 3 versus 3. Say the Oda and the Mori were to come into Kyoto and they end up fighting. What happens is we do a Shogun 2 battle first, and the outcome of that battle will determine the amount of flags that each of the vanguard armies they send in first. So it's up to them if they want it to be their retainer or one of the daimyo armies. The daimyo have two armies, remember, and it's totally up to them how that's going to work. But the outcome of the battle will determine like what proportion of flags the vanguard army will have going into the proper battle, which will be a Hellish Court duel as usual. Uh, And you guys know how those work. It's basically like a team match, kind of like Time of Troubles, but with more forces on the table. Feel free, by the way, if you guys have questions, which is totally understandable. I know this is a little overwhelming. Uh, Feel free to send them. I think I got orders sent to me. Let me just double check. Join back to the voice chat? Sure. Yeah. Okay, what's up?
Hi, Sibu. So yeah, you disappeared so quickly. I didn't manage to ask my questions.
Okay, sure.
So, is there any point in owning territories? Like, are there any bonuses given, like more armies or anything like that?
All right, good
That is
question.
not like capital.
So there is no bonus, but having more territory makes it easier for you to absorb attacks. So a clan has to stop if they come into one of your territories that's unoccupied. Even they still have to
Mm-hmm.
stop to consolidate their power. So being bigger
Mm-hmm.
keeps you in the game longer, in effect, and it might allow you a clearer path to Kyoto because you can travel freely
Mm-hmm.
across your own territories or neutral territories.
Oh, so we don't spend those three movement points when we are moving on our own territory?
No, you still do. You still do. It's just if you hit an enemy territory, you have to stop and take that territory.
Okay, then what about territories that are not owned by player-controlled factions? Like, for example,
Uh,
there is
mhm,
Uyasugi faction near Date,
mhm.
and as far as I know, nobody is playing it. So how does it work then?
You can just
If
you can just
is
waltz
it
through
considered
them.
like neutral territory,
Yeah.
or if you go into this, you have to capture?
It's considered neutral, so it's up to you what you want to do with it. You can walk through or
Hmm.
you can take it. Sorry if that was
Okay,
unclear.
I see. I see.
But
I
if you
see.
just take it, you just don't need to fight. You just take neutral territory, right?
Yeah, you're just taking it. Like for our purposes,
Mm.
these clans are just weaker. They're just insignificant clans, so you don't have to worry about fighting them for the most part. The one exception
Hmm.
might is the Iko though. So if you go attack them, then some interesting things might happen. But they're really just gonna
Hmm.
sit there for now. You don't have to worry about them unless you want
Okay.
to cross through
Okay.
them. Yeah.
Oh, and another question. So, to the
Hmm.
south of Date, is it neutral territory or is it Tokugawa? Who is it? That whitish territory.
Good question. So those two gray territories, I don't know if you could tell the difference. That is just neutral. So some
Uh-huh.
random small clans own them. And then
So
there's the
Tokugawa
Hojo,
is bordering Oda, right?
the white, yes. But again, that's for our purposes, we're just gonna consider that neutral territory because nobody's
Okay.
using them.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Same with the Hojo,
Okay.
that
Got it.
blue clan there. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Oh, and okay. It's not so easy to understand it on the picture. So, is there a path between southernmost Data province and like right below it, grayish province?
Yeah, I can see why you're struggling to see that. I will say there is a path there. I see it. There's like a point where the borders intersect, so that is I would call that a path. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just
So small. I zoomed down,
yeah, it's
so
okay.
like
It's okay.
zoomed in hard there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll say like you
Oh,
can move in any direction, right? If there's just a territory there, you can go in. Yeah.
okay, okay, got it.
Yeah, I'll keep it simple.
And I can have three armies on one territory. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's up to you where you want to put them. I purposely put them all in the same territory so you can move them all the same distance in any direction you want.
I
So,
see. I see. That's it for my questions.
all right.
I guess if Lance won't respond, I'll send you our movement in like 5 to 10 minutes.
All right. And if it's only you controlling the clan, it's not the end of the world. It just means you're piloting everything yourself. So, it'll still work.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So talk to you later then.
Yeah, thanks, Boom.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so if any of you are concerned, like your retainer hasn't shown up or your daimyo hasn't shown up, heaven forbid, uh, at some point, it's not the end of the world. It just means you gotta take up the helm if you want your team to win, that is. Ideally, I was gonna have like 3 people per clan, but I can see now, based on the level of engagement we're getting, and some people were probably a little uncertain too. And also to add on to that, we've got the Shoshokabe down here, we've got the Shimazu here, the Otomo. You can see nobody wanted to play the Christian factions because they get rapiers. Heaven forbid you play a rapier, but I get it, I get it. But and then we got the Uesugi here too, which are not occupied by anybody, but you can still use those territories as a path. The Hojo, Tokugawa, nobody's playing them. It's a lot of clans, and we're a pretty small community, so I know the rules say something about like 3 people per clan. That'll still be the maximum, but just to be clear, there's absolutely no requirement that you have 3 or even that you have 2 people. But regardless of how many people are there, you'll still get your 3 armies just for the sake of balance. So the only disadvantage is your player base is not so diverse if you only have 1 person. So you're sandwiched. Yeah, yeah, 100%. Unfortunately, not every clan can be given in a perfectly equal position, but I do like how this turned out because the Mori clan gets a clear shot to Kyoto if they wish to take it. The Oda clan obviously do. They're literally on the border. Then there's the Takeda, who can also go straight to Kyoto. The Date can't go straight to Kyoto, but they at least have a clear shot to attack the Takeda clan there. So a lot of things to consider for all of these clans. And I can see why Tao is really contemplating things here because he wants to play this just right so he can get to Kyoto in time. But like I said, you gotta hold Kyoto for 6 turns. So I've tried to make it such that even if the Date literally have to slog through these territories, like they'll make it. There's no problem, assuming they win everything and all goes well. Do our armies move together? Or they separate? They can separate, so you can have like one army attack the Oda if you're the Takeda, and one army attack the Date, and you could send one army in a different direction if you want. That's totally up to you. But if you are outnumbered, that does play a role in the fights to come, because you'll have to fight a Hellish Court fight, well, vastly outnumbered in that case. And so each army has 12 flags, so you can imagine it's not a good time if you're uh, outnumbered like 2 to 1 or something. Okay, I haven't heard anything from Warden, but we know that Piper's around, and I'm around certainly, and Vinu's around, so should still be good as far as Shogun 2, but that is not a strictly like necessary aspect of the event. I specifically made this such that we could still just do Hellish Court fights and not worry about that, and it's not gonna break the game or anything like that, so we could just do a straight up fight with like 36 flags, for example, if both sides just charge in. Thought it'd be interesting to implement the game a little bit into the event as well, but we'll see what we do. Hellish Court, can carry us through the event regardless. As for taking territories, do we have to move our army to it, or can we take a territory that's adjacent from our color? So you have to move your army directly onto the territory you want to take. And if there's an army there, it will oppose you, essentially. But if there is no army there, you get to take it, but you do have to take that turn to take the territory for yourself, regardless. If it's enemy territory, if it's neutral territory, you can just move through it. If it's your own territory, you can obviously move through it. Is that making sense? Yeah. Okay, we got the orders from the Date. All right, interesting, interesting, interesting. So I will play out the orders. Let me just double check that I have the Takeda ones correctly. Okay, let's do it. So the Takeda have moved one army to Kyoto, but the Oda clan has moved all of their armies. Whoops. Yeah, unfortunately, this program is a little iffy. Sometimes you accidentally click the. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, the Oda have sent all their forces to Kyoto. The Mori have sent all their forces to Kyoto. But the Takeda have now seized this territory from the Oda clan. And it's very difficult to color things in right away on this map, but in this one I can just... where the heck's the color? There we are, okay. So it looks like that right now. Because the Takeda, these two armies cannot move, obviously, and once these armies have moved, they can't move. They're going to start fighting right away. But the Date, can I control them? Yeah. They move through and attack the Iko-Iki with all three of their armies. And this is not a neutral faction. I made it very clear to Tao. Some interesting things will happen, but we will get to that first. We will get to that later. Not right away. But important thing right now is Vinu has sent his one army here, but the Oda and the Mori have this massive force. So, because it's a three-way battle, we're gonna use a spinner here. Okay. And this is just because everybody's moving simultaneously, so we can't, there's no real order like there would be in the game just because of the restraints of our event. So there's the Mori. You guys cannot take Kyoto right away since the army's there, so you're gonna have to fight for it. Okay. So, whoever this lands on will have to take part in the first fight. And we'll spin it a second time and go from there. Okay, Takeda are involved in the first fight. Okay, let's remove them. Mori, there we go. Now, who are the Takeda gonna fight? The Mori. Excellent. Okay, so it's actually pretty simple. We're not using Shogun 2 right away. And obviously the Oda will get a chance to fight. It's just a matter of what order we're going in. So the Takeda have 12 flags. The Mori have 36 flags. So now from the Mori, I just need to know who's going in first. I can't ping the Mori. That'd be funny. We don't have roles for the clan. Okay, so Oak is the one who was taken to Kyoto. That's good to know as well. I need to know who's who, of course. Yeah, we're doing a regular Hellish Court fight. You guys don't have to worry about Shogun 2 yet. Um, yeah, we're just going at it now. Let's get Parsec ready. That is a good question. Thank you, Jesus. All right. Okay, Takeda, pick your side. Do armies regenerate flags? So, how this works for Hellish Court is you do regenerate flags. It's like Time of Troubles. The only time flags are generally going to matter as far as losses is the Shogun 2 battles, and that will be shown in the battles. And at that point, they'll count for future battles as well, but they can regenerate over time. It'll take 4 turns to fully regenerate. All right, there's your link, guys. I assume it's going to be Piper against Oak from what I'm seeing because Mike hasn't shown, but that's okay. Oak wants to the left. That works perfectly, actually. Wow. I assume it's going to be Piper, so I'm preemptively putting his name there, but... And again, Oda Clan, don't fear. You guys will get your chance to fight. For now, we're just doing these two because we're fighting in order. Without the Discord stage on? Yeah, I'll get there as well. Yeah, good point, Oak. There we go. Yeah, I understand. You guys are used to having it on, so you can just listen in, and especially for the Hellish Court fights. Yeah, Oak has to win 36 flags. He's got 12. It's a tough one, but this will be legendary if he does win it. If anyone can pull this off, it is Oak. But Piper's a tough cookie. Yeah, reconnect Oak. I thought I had you in. but I might have just not clicked on your name. There we are. Gonna display Hellish Quart. So it's not about score, it's more about winning each of your fights. Does that make sense? Oh, well, I did announce it was live, Tal, but I'm sorry if that was unclear, but I did announce it. Need to win 3 rounds, exactly, because it's, if you take out 12 flags, that's the army gone, and you don't have to worry about your flags. Your flags are... Yeah. Okay, 12. It's fine, you're hoping for your daimyo to handle it all. Yeah, maybe he didn't know either, and in which case I apologize for that. But it is what it is. I get it, I get it. Alright. Oak on the left, Piper on the right. You guys know, yeah, you guys are going with your mains anyway, because you literally went to those clans so you could play those mains, so that's all good. Yeah, the losses will only play a role when we do the Shogun 2 battles to make things interesting. Just want to simplify things here for the Hellish Quart. But winning 3 times, not so easy if you're so outnumbered. And already Piper's got 2 flags. We could do it that way too, where like losses will matter throughout. But we're gonna try it this way first and just see how it goes. Rules can be edited for future events as needed. Oak takes a hand off. Sorry for the slow start, guys. This is a bit of a complicated event. So, I did expect it would take a bit of time to get the mechanics hashed out so everyone understands what's going on. So far, very even, I would say, but Oak is a little bit behind. Not anymore. 3-3. Piper blocks the first one, goes for a punch. I think he wanted a cut, though, if we're being, to be honest, but doesn't come out. Oh my goodness, Piper missed the first one, but kept going. Nice. Nicely done. 5-5. Very even fight. A lot of pressure for Oak. There's the jump. Nicely done from Piper. Somehow he makes that move work, and I don't get how he does it. But that's a compliment. A cut to the hand. Just these flags end so quickly, especially when Piper's your opponent. And the hit to the throat it looked like, actually, but the game probably considers that a body hit. So Oak does not secure the kill. There's that lunge, though, instantly getting a kill back. And Oak now gets a lead. A slight lead, but it's still a lead. Another flag for Oak. Oak is really turning up the heat now. Goes low. And Oak needs one more to take out the first Mori army. he does it. First win for Oak. Do not switch sides, guys. We'll stick with the same sides throughout the individual battles. So if you want to make a switch, go ahead. I'll just note down that the Mori have lost in army. And if you lose an army completely, it'll take 4 turns to get it back. So a lost army is a pretty big deal, as I emphasized in the announcement earlier. Don't know if it was today, but it was it was sometime before the event, not long. 1-1. And again, these guys don't have to worry about flags for this fight. They just have to worry about winning. Yes, the Mori lose an army. Yeah. Yeah. So it actually is pretty huge, I would say, that Oak has won this victory. Regardless of what happens coming forward. Nice grab. Does that answer your question, guys? A trade. Stab down low does not connect. I'm surprised, actually. But Piper did have a hit lined up to the head, so it was going to be messy no matter what happened for Oak. The jump is parried perfectly into an A cut. Where are the samurai skins? Unfortunately, the samurai mod has not been updated, so not every character has one. So we're just gonna stick with Hellish Quart skins for now. I think Tarnovsky has one, but everyone after him. Plus, there's like I think the shields still need a skin, so... Oh, they have there's the flail, I think, but yeah. We'll have to figure stuff out for some of the other characters. Yeah, it's all good, Racer. There's no, I didn't want to rush you or anything, because I know you're busy with a lot of other stuff, probably, but... down the road, would definitely appreciate it, especially for Hassan, I think, is the main guy who really needs a samurai skin. But even Marina, if she had like a box, like those Japanese square shields for a shield, I don't know if that's possible, but I don't know. Just spitballing ideas. Because she has a curved sword. Anyway, let's focus back on the fight here. Piper a little bit behind. Oak looking to win yet another battle. Two flags difference. Hand comes off. Yeah, these flags, there's often not much to commentate. It's just one fighter has read the situation a little bit better, and so that fighter's the one who wins, and the other guy has his hand chopped off. Oak tries to go low, doesn't quite get it. There's a hit to the head. Piper was going for a jump or a grab or a push, something of that nature. Oh, but there it is. Oak has won yet another one. Again, we're not switching sides. Rematch, yeah, that makes sense. The Mori have lost another army. At least for the Mori, they're kind of off to the other side, so losing these armies might not be as big of a deal for them, but in that regard, as far as being attacked, but yeah, they put all their eggs in one basket, which I think they probably had to do if they really wanted Kyoto. And you'll see why, by the way, I decided that the flags shouldn't necessarily matter that much knowing wins. Because otherwise Kyoto would be, like, untakeable if we did it that way. At least with how I set it up. But we can edit stuff later if we feel that that's a better way to do it. There's a hit. Piper's gonna dig in here. The Mori clan is not looking good. The oh goodness, push. The Takeda clan have just been on fire. Their horsemen have been untouchable. Nice. There's a hit from Piper. Yeah, sorry, I feel like I'm not focusing on commentary as much. There's a lot of questions coming in and stuff, but it's also a really tough fight to commentate. It's really intense. But no, keep the questions coming in, guys. It's important that everybody understands how this event works, so. Perfect trick shot to the head from Oak. That was, wow. I don't think Piper expected that to land. You don't see it very often, but it proved to be a really nice option here. I found trick shots against Alex actually, certainly pre a Kubold update to Barbash and Jan's animations. I've certainly found that the trick shots there work pretty well. So I think it was a smart pick by Oak. There's a sidestep from Piper. Are we looking at a comeback? The Mori clan really needs one right now, at least to take out one army. Oh, there's a hit. Huge for Oak. Stamina's down for Piper, although we don't usually see Alex run out of stamina. It can still reduce your damage. Piper securing another flag. Shogun licks? No, it's not. Oak takes it. And legendary performance from Oak, taking out all three of the Mori army. So we will head to the map first. And I'll just delete them. I can add, of course, more icons in as needed. But for the time being, you guys have lost your armies. But they will have a turn of replenishment. So it'll take 4 turns total. We'll say you guys get a turn of replenishment this time around. But you need 3 more full turns to get your armies back. So a devastating and decisive victory for the Takeda. But the Takeda are not done, because you see the Oda clan is here. So, all right, let's see what Oak can do. Oak still has to fight, I'm afraid, because of how this worked out. Use some new attack you haven't seen. Yeah, that attack is not seen very often. So, to the Oda clan, that is Chisus and Venator, I believe. Yes. And it's all good, Mike. We're still able to continue the event. So you didn't hold us up. Yeah, it's probably up to whether Venator's back from dinner or not. If you're not back, Venator, it's all good. Just send your retainer in first. We can still do a fight. Don't know if he's here. Yeah. You will go then, yeah. Trick shot was accidental. Wow. That is amazing. Alright. We actually can delay this a little bit, because I don't think anyone else's turn... I don't think we will. If Venator doesn't have any objections to it, we can just... Yeah, we can just do it. I just want to double check if Venator, if we can, because he's the daimyo of his clan. No, we're not done for today yet. Yeah, the turns are real time, yeah. Okay, Jesus, Venator, ideally one of you. I guess we could do the special event that Tao has triggered by attacking the Iko Iki. So he has not taken this territory yet, but his armies are sitting there. We will address that in due course. One turn is how many days? We'll say it's a season. So like in a Shogun 2. Yeah. But we're not super concerned about timelines or stuff like that, so you don't really have to worry about that. But it's a season, because that's why it takes 4 to replenish an army back. Venator's not ready? Excellent. Alright, I just wanted to get confirmation if we could. That's not a problem, Venator. Okay, so that's what Tao was talking about. Yeah, okay. So we'll do as many turns as we can, in effect, within the 3-hour span. But yeah, I guess a turn per hour would be the most ideal situation. Jesus, let me know if you need keyboard. Also, I didn't get sword or shield. I'll let him... Yeah, I don't want this to be any longer than a tournament, so... Why is Discord glitching out? Like, I have to keep clicking in and out like that for it to... Alright, Piper. Or not Piper, Oak, sorry. Because Oak is the one who won. Sword, alright. I assume you want the left? Alright, beautiful. So, Oak got the left once more. And, you know, it's generally not considered that big of an advantage, but I'd say most people still do prefer to fight on that side. So, it's probably a win for him, despite that. Alright, Jesus, you're on the right then. Let's just reset the sides just in case. Reminder that the Oda had 3 armies, but Jesus, you have 1. So you personally are controlling 1 because you're the retainer of the Oda clan. So we'll have to wait for Venator to resolve this completely, but we can at least resolve this initial fight. Jesus going with Samuel. Pretty straightforward character to play. I think it's a smart pick. And he's a good Samuel, too, from what I remember. And a victory here right away is pretty huge for the Oda clan. So a lot of pressure on his shoulders, I have to say. So I'm glad to see that he picked a character he's good with, a character that's pretty straightforward to play. Just against somebody like Oak, you can't mess around. I stabbed right through the body. It went. You even saw the tip go through his back, but no kill. Double. Another double. Very well played from Jesus so far, fighting Oak to a stalemate, although he has won a flag so far, so he is ahead. Oak is a very tough opponent. There's a hit to the head. The odds are very much against Oak, though. Oak has a lot of armies to take out yet, with his cavalry retinue. There's a flag. And I know somebody was asking about retreating. We could also see about implementing something like that down the road too. But I want to see how this goes first. Kind of simplifying stuff for this event somewhat, because I know it's a lot to digest even as is. So, but if you guys have feedback for a future event, some things you think didn't work so well, some things you thought worked very well, let me know. We can go from there. Looking very good for the Oda clan right now. Reminder, the Oak cannot afford to lose even a single fight. Chisos is forming the vanguard of the Ashigaru pike line for the Oda. But it looks like the Takeda are gaining some momentum back. The Oak getting another kill. There's a stab, doesn't quite connect. But Oaks did. Good counterattack. Double again. Actually, a lot of doubles this fight. I feel like this matchup is not known for its doubles, but Samuel does have some threatening cuts that do hit surprisingly hard. Despite not having the reputation for hitting the hardest out of everybody, and Laszlo's HP is pretty average, so... Oh, push, and then a grab! Oak, a little unlucky there. Samuel's guard holding under that onslaught. Beautiful from Chisos. Chisos proving to be quite a competitor in this event. I'm sure Venator's happy that he entrusted his retainer with this task, this very important task of being the vanguard in the army. Stab. You can see here, Chisos is really trying to keep this clean, trying to use tight attacks. And Oak is going with his standard in and out strategy. And having to adapt, I think, to a lot of what Chisos is doing. Going with horizontal cuts there, very smart. And then a hit to the head. Being pinged. Oh yeah, no worries, Warden. Yeah, 2 hours is actually perfect. That is the scheduled time. Alright, so we got Warden on board. No, I mean you're fine. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just texting Warden about helping us with Shogun 2 if he's needed, but he might not be needed with how things are going. Very even fight. I apologize for not commentating this one so closely, but it sounded like there were a lot of exchanges going on. Going for a hand snipe, and that stab, perfect from Cheeses. Cheeses needs one more to eliminate the Takeda army, the singular army from Kyoto, and that will give the Oda a clear shot to attack Kyoto, in fact. So this is huge if he can win this one. It's quite a setback, actually, if he loses here. But at least Venator will be able to try and secure things from there. Not the complete end of the world, but you definitely don't want to lose here. There's another flag. It's down to the last. Amazing performance from Cheeses, regardless of what happens here. The stab doesn't connect. Oak is able to sidestep it, and that is another victory for Oak. That is huge. For his team, that is an Oda army eliminated. Let me just note that down. Important to keep track of how many turns of replenishment are needed. Great job, Chisos. You definitely did your clan proud. But it looks like Oak was able to win. Is Venator ready? If not, we can actually put this on pause because there's no other competing clans here or anything like that. We can pause here and actually see what's going on with the Date clan. But why does it look like Piper said, oh my goodness. You see how fucked Discord is right now? For me, there you go. That's funny. It's only on my screen, I presume, but yeah. And like I said, we might implement losses for a future event if I ever get around to doing another one. And if you guys want to use this template or to do something similar, like obviously feel free. I encourage anyone in the community who feels up to it to try their own campaign style event. What happens now? Then Venator will fight. If not, actually, you guys will be fighting the Iko Iki. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. All right, it looks like I'm not hearing anything from Venator, so I think we'll actually we'll get on with the next phase of the turn. Okay. So, the Date clan have seen the poison that is the Iko Iki, a peasant revolt in Japan, a peasant revolution. that intends to overthrow the establishment, and they've decided to target them instead of the other clans. And in the current territory they are located in, there's essentially a collection of peasants and monks that are currently in revolt. They are not ruled by samurai, so there is a chance for them to take this territory for themselves. And they've essentially triggered their own special event, so it doesn't work the same way the fights we just saw previously. Yeah, no, you can control all of them. You can control all of them if you want, Tao. That's okay. And also, we're doing a Shogun 2 style battle, so like the rules work completely differently. So Warden, if we can get you in right away. I'll DM him as well. He should be. All right, perfect. Thank you, Vinu. I'll just see if we can get Warden on board first. Or, actually, just trying to think here. No, I'll do it. It'll be smoother that way. I'll pilot the Ikoiki since they're a host-controlled faction. But yeah, we can get you on board, Vinu, if Warden doesn't respond pretty quick. Let me... Well, actually, Vinu's with Tao right now. So yeah, if Warden doesn't respond quickly, we'll just do that. Alright. So, I'll get the game set up. Okay, I'll just make sure Tao hears all of this. Again, Discord is just being a pain right now. Okay, I'm just sending Tao the instructions. Why is Discord doing this? It's always been doing this regardless of connection. Alright, I'm just, yeah, thanks, Tao. Alright. Yeah, so tell Vinu what you want for your build. You'll be able to see all the units he'll show you. And, Tao is the one giving the orders. You guys are talking, so that actually works perfectly. You're giving Vinu orders. You tell him where you want the army to go, what you want the army to do. You can stream through Discord. What forces? So the Ikoiki. Ikoiki peasant monks. And specifically a peasant rabble. So these aren't professionals. These aren't samurai or anything of the sort. Generally speaking, it's just a rabble of riled up peasants who are upset with the establishment, and they want some samurai heads. Religious fanatics too, to add to add insult to injury. Vinu can tell you more. Vinu knows all about the game. If either of you have questions though about like what enemy you're facing, I can't answer them. I won't give you specific advice though, like what units to use. That's up to Tao. But Vinu can tell you how things work and go from there. I will not know What army you're gonna bring? That's a complete secret. So don't tell me, because I don't want to be influenced by that. But I just told you pretty much what I'm gonna be using, so I won't change that regardless. Let me just make sure we don't have mods in Shogun 2, because otherwise that'll really mess things up. I do play some mods for Campaign. We could try that at some point for an event, but I want to stick with vanilla Shogun 2, keep things simple, because Vinu knows it, Warden knows it, and I know it well, and Piper does too, so best way to do it is that way. So I'll host the game, and I'll give you all the details. And I was gonna hide my screen, but I actually think I basically told you what I'll bring anyway, so. Since Tao is having to run his commands through Vinu, I will play with that sort of a disadvantage. And again, Iko-Iki, it's, in my case, I'll be sticking with Peasant Rabble for the most part, so it's, game ready? Excellent. I'll just get into Shogun 2, and I'll get you guys the link and whatnot, and we'll go from there. This is the part that might take the longest, but I promise the battles in Shogun 2 do not take that long. We'll blink, literally, and then it'll pretty much be over, so. If you're not paying attention, so. But they still have enough tactical nuances, I think, to be very, very fun. Okay. I know you guys can't see the... Okay, password is sword. The name of the game is Hellish. Let me just make sure that's in Discord as well. No capital is in the password. Let me know if anything goes wrong, guys. And just for transparency, of course. You can see him in the clans, and I'm going to be going straight to the Iko-Iki. So they have like unique like monks and stuff like that, but again, it's a peasant rabble that Tao is going to be having to deal with. Yeah, there's really not much to my build, of course. Medium funds, unit size, ultra, perfect. Yeah, I don't mind playing with this disadvantage if Vinu wants to see what we've got and wants to plan around that. That is a-okay by me. Make sure you add chevrons if you can, by the way, Vinu. That is one thing I almost forgot there. Yeah, chevrons are good. Yeah, make sure, if you have space to do it, you add some chevrons. Just get your units a little bit stronger. Oh, shit. Alright, so to answer your question, Siant, there is one in the previous announcements you can look at. You can zoom in on it and see the maps. I did have it up earlier too, like what the map currently looks like. One Oda territory was taken by the Takeda, and right now Kyoto is under siege, but we'll get to that battle in time. And the Date are attacking the Iko Iki. And obviously the Date are not putting their entire like forces at risk by doing this, by attacking the Iko Iki. They are only putting one army at risk as far as the potential for it to take casualties and stuff like that. But I'll say the biggest risk for them is to have it removed. Since it's like a special faction, not a player faction, the rules are a little bit different. So again, main focus is to win. You'll get a turn of replenishment just like in the campaign, so because I don't want to stack things against the player that are not controlled by other players. Like this is a host thing, so let me know when ready. Yeah. You're doing, yeah, it looks like they're doing the chevrons. Actually, we can do this as well. Display capture. Oh, cancel, not the display. The game capture. Shogun 2. There you go. Just so you guys don't have to see me clicking back and forth. Yeah, not right away, Venator. So, we're just moving on to what the Date are up to. So there's no rush to show up at the moment. We're just gonna do this battle and see what happens. Hopefully this battle works out. You guys ready? Possibly. Okay, so Warden's here, but Venu offered to help, so. But I appreciate it. So Tao is telling Vinu like what to add, what orders to implement. Yeah, it's like think of Time Commanders. I don't know if you guys have watched that. Looks like Vinu's ready. I'll assume he is, given the check mark. So let's get started. Yeah, sorry about that, Warden. I know there's a lot of confusion. I was trying to get you in. Yeah. You may be needed later, though. Yeah, I just want to make that clear. All right. Excellent. Let's get started. Thanks for the message in YouTube chat as well, Vinu. I was just talking with Warden there. Yeah, it's not impossible that Warden will be needed later, but we'll see. Okay, loading. Okay, and I'll just take a moment to organize my forces. I did say peasant rabble. Unfortunately, we do have to have a samurai-looking general. You'll have to forgive me for that. General unit's not very strong anyway, so uh, really, I'm looking to keep him safe more than anything. I'm not looking to win any battles with him. Yeah, but the rest of these guys, they're just peasant rabble. Especially the Iko Iki, my understanding is their units have more numbers as far as the Ashigaru go, but they are weaker compared to, say, the Oda Ashigaru especially. They're weaker. They can't even do spear wall, so that gives you some perspective there. Most clans can at least do spear wall with their Yari Ashigaru, and they become very good at holding the line at that point. But this is not the case for the Iko Iki, who are relying more on numbers. They do have the elite warrior monk units, but I decided not to go with the strongest build possible because it's a bit too much of a challenge, I think. Especially if Tower's a bit unfamiliar with the game. But the Iko Iki is a pretty weak faction, so trying to make this as doable as possible for somebody commanding Vinu's forces. Alright. Looks like Vinu's ready to go. I'm ready to go as well. Let's do it. Let's see what they brought. Anyway, sorry again, Warden. I know I was like trying to get you to join, but Vinu immediately stepped up, so. Oh, whoops. Okay, loose formation. By the way, that's not pausing the game, that's just a good way of canceling orders. Obviously you can't pause a multiplayer battle. Quickly see what he's got here. Nice, light cavalry. Not de Masamune, they brought the man himself to battle. I just brought some nameless general. I'll have fun watching this. Yeah, and if you are needed, I don't know if you will be needed, but if you are needed, I'll try and call you again. Especially for battles between individual clans. Like this is a player-controlled faction, the Iko-Iki. Host-controlled faction, I should say. So it's actually possibly better than I'm the one with the range, but Samurai versus Ashigaru, yeah, exactly, yeah. We'll see what happens with that. I brought no cavalry, again trying to stick with the theme, so. And the Iko-Iki in real life, they actually were pretty formidable. They had some really good gunners, they had some good fortresses and stuff like that, but we're still gonna play this as if it's a random peasant revolt. 'Cause it was more like a confederation, so some groups of them would not have been professional armies in any meaningful sense. You can see like these units they're a little bit more loose. Well, actually, he has his units in loose formation in anticipation of archers, so that's smart. But typically, the professional samurai clans have tighter formations. The katana, yeah. I do have these guys, the Lone Sword Ashigaru, but they are not as good as samurai.
Our men are running from the battlefield. Shameful display!
Now things are really kicking off. Ooh, this is getting intense.
Our men are running from the battlefield! Shameful display! My lord! A glorious victory will soon be yours!
Well, I was surprised that worked. I didn't really have a plan. I just was like throw my men at them and hope it wins and hope they win. So GG though, that was I feel like it just came down to morale. Because my men just started swamping around Vinu's men. And I think he needed to get those cavalry in very, very soon. Once the engagement started there. You can see wow, I outnumbered him like quite a bit there because I just went with peasants. But I'm kind of curious actually. What units got the most kills? Probably the Yari Ashigaru. Lone Swords did pretty good too. Okay. The bows, yeah, mostly archers they killed, but yeah, those samurai fought hard on his side. It's just they were swamped by numbers, it looks like. Thanks, Warden. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Alright, so the Date have failed. Double the troops, yeah, because the Ikuiki they have cheap troops, but they're not very good. That's usually the whole point of them, unless you bring a bunch of warrior monks, which I didn't do, because I was worried they would just destroy everything that opposed them if I went with an army like that. Because it's not a matter of just how cheap they are too. Also, the Ikuiki have more unit numbers, but they can't even form spear wall, so they're pretty weak. The Lone Sword Ashigaru are okay, but also not a samurai unit or anything like that. So essentially, what's happened here now is the Date have experienced quite the setback. So they do not take this territory. 1 second. And they are forced back here. And we'll say that First Army lost half their men from the statistics that we saw. I believe that's what we saw, right? They lost like half their troops. We'll go back to that Vanguard army, whichever army was supposed to... Just let me double check. I'm pretty sure I saw they lost like half their men. Yeah, we'll say half their men just from the numbers that we saw there. So it's not the biggest setback, but they do not get the territory. What about the two other armies? So oh, HQ update, nice. I'll look into that. Just yeah. But I will say, Tao, the Takeda territory is free for the taking if you want to go there next turn. So that is an option. You can just straight up go take this territory from the Takeda. That is something you can do. And that army will replenish. So this turn, it's going to replenish like... we don't have enough players to do that for starters. And also, you're essentially sending in your Vanguard, Tau. Is how that works, right? So you can try again next turn. But, because you've got the numbers. And actually, the Iko Iki have suffered, I don't know how you quantify their losses, though, but yeah, that's another thing. But yeah, hopefully that's making sense. So you have been set back, but you literally have an open shot to a neighboring enemy territory that is not held by an army. So all right. So do you have any other questions, Tao? That's how I kind of designed the field battles, because otherwise it'd be unwinnable for the outnumbered side completely, and then there's just no tactics. Yeah, I can. So I don't think it's showing up on stream. Good point, Tao. Thank you, because I have the game capture. Yeah, I can show you right now. They're in the Uesugi territory, just neighboring the one. I'll just do this. Yeah. So you guys have just been pushed back here, and one of your armies have suffered half of the half losses. But in this turn of replenishment, they'll be down to a quarter of their original force. So, and again, it's about balancing, because I don't want like my controlled factions or the special events to necessarily completely destroy your hopes and dreams, but it has prevented you from taking this route directly to Kyoto. So it's still it still matters. But so you guys have just been frozen in place essentially. There's not much you can do. I'm still streaming it? I thought I just switched the screen. No, I'm definitely not streaming Shogun at the moment. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so do you see this, Tao? Your armies are over here. And the Ikuiki cannot come over and attack you, so there's no risk of that. So obviously, so because they're not a player controlled faction. They're just kind of sitting there. But maybe there'll be a special event. I don't know if they'll actually take territory, but maybe there'll be like special events that everyone has to deal with in the future that might involve them. But it's gonna be kind of sporadic, just like the actual campaigns are. But everyone will have to deal with a similar event if they do not manually trigger it, as you just did here. But are you seeing the map now? Yeah, since you guys are settling here and you've consolidated your forces, I would say you're capturing that territory as well. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Because why wouldn't you, right? There's nobody here to oppose you. So if you want to take that territory, that is still within your power. Let me just make sure I select the correct blue. So you guys would be not this blue. Hang on. There we are. That's the Ultimo blue. So you guys should see the color changes, and I'll copy this map and then paste it into Dungeon Fog later, so you guys can see the current state of things on that medium as well. All right. So is that making sense? Venator, you ready to go? You'll take it? Yeah. Cool. Yeah, it only makes sense, I guess, and it increases your survivability because armies can then come out of there if hypothetically that was your last territory. So yeah, but you don't have to. There's nothing like forcing you to, but it makes the most sense, I would say. So okay, Venator fighting Oak now. Okay, and I'll just close out of Shogun 2. Also, really nice nice changes there by Kubold, by the way. Do you want to update the game? Yeah, I'll update the game. It won't take that long. So, and I think I'm kind of forced into it anyway. Yeah, it's literally done. It literally just, I blinked and it was done, so we're good. Yeah, we'll go with the game updates since it literally just happened. So the Date have snagged some territory for themselves. And again, I'll replace this map with the updated map in due course. It's just a little inconvenient to constantly download the maps and add them in, especially with how a Dungeon Fog is built. So forgive me for being a tad lazy about that. I just don't want to be held up. So at least we got this map where it's just easy to color stuff in. So you can see how things are updating still. Are you guys trying to join? Oak's in. I thought I saw Venator trying to join too. Sorry if I didn't get to you in time there. Oh, I know he was restarting. He ran into an issue. Right. All right. No worries, Venator. Take your time. You guys are the last people who have to fight, but there's still no rush. Yeah, no problem, Warden. I appreciate you coming out to try and help regardless. And feel free to hop on in if you want to help with future events. I especially with the clan fights, I definitely want impartial operators if we can. Yeah, it's okay, Venator. Yeah, so just a tip in general, by the way, guys. Yari Samurai are actually not a good unit, believe it or not. I know it's completely historically inaccurate. That is one thing the game kind of gets wrong. Um, but Yari Ashigaru can beat them under the correct conditions, especially if they're in Spear Wall from the front. If Yari Samurai flank them, then the Ashigaru will just completely collapse and retreat. But from the front, Yari Ashigaru will beat them. Naginata Samurai and Katana Samurai, on the other hand, will win handily. So at least there are some polearm samurai that are very good. In fact, Naginata Samurai are the best units, I would say, as far as polearm infantry. Although you could argue the monks are a good shock unit. But that is a tip that I'll give everybody who's not familiar with the game. Just stay away from Yari Samurai. If you want a good samurai unit to counter cavalry, that's not a cavalry unit itself, Naginata Samurai are a great choice. And Naginata Samurai can also take on infantry no problem. They have good defensive stats and good offensive stats. They're just a good all-around unit to throw against anybody you want dead. I think the one thing the Yari Samurai do have going for them is they have the fast movement ability, though. So they can move very quickly, but that's about it. Also, to represent that the Oda have lost an army, I didn't mean to do that. Whoops. Alright, there we are. I'll delete one of the Oda forces. And again, they'll come back, they'll replenish as the turns go, so they're not lost forever or anything like that. But it is something you want to avoid if you can avoid it. So Oak is still on the left. That has not changed. But Venator now will take him on the right. Alright, let's get into it. Sorry for the wait there. Also, love to see the update from Kubold. Finally listening to some feedback there. I think there was something about a corkscrew not being cancelled anymore. I only read it briefly. But there's some good stuff in there. Okay. Obviously, we know who Oak's gonna use, but just a reminder that the Oda have Isabella, Samuel, and Marta Venator. So that's the other thing. Samuel is one of the available characters to the Oda. You can totally use Samuel, just as Cheeses did. But you also have Marta and Isabella at your disposal. Just thought I'd remind him of that. We know who Oak's gonna use, though. Laszlo is the only pick that makes sense at this point, I would say. Oh yes, you can use Bara and Yan too. Every faction can use Bara and Yan. So yeah, you're good. You're good with Yan. That was a good pick. All right. Glad I remembered that. That would have been bad. So everybody can use Bara and Yan as well. That is those are characters available to every faction. Yeah, I'm glad Venator remembered, because I actually didn't for the briefest of moments there. And it's actually probably the best pick for Venator here, I have to say. Corkscrew there lands. I'm sure it's still a good move, the corkscrew, but I think the big thing that people were concerned about was its cancelability. Brief funky thing with the FPS there, but it quickly resolved itself, so that's good. So far it looks clean, and Jan's animations look better. I hope he did the same to Bara, though. Ooh, lunges in. There's a flag for Oak. Reminder that Oak cannot lose this. If he loses this, then his army's gone. But at least there's one army for the Takeda, so they've kind of benefited from this as far as eliminating their opposition. There's a cut to the hand. Corkscrew from Vena. Alright, that is a little bit strange there. If you guys are seeing slight drops, I'm seeing them too, but they're only happening briefly for some reason. I hope they don't look too bad in your end. For the most part, the game is smooth, so that's good. It's not like a consistent drop. Chop there to the hand. Double. Yeah, Cheeses did great for Venator's team, just wasn't quite able to secure the win, so Venator's hoping to just take out these Takeda. Chop to the hand, beautiful. And just to be clear, at this point, nobody has taken Kyoto, but they are fighting over it as we speak. Oh, the trick shot. I don't think he wanted that one. Goes low, back Y, nice from Venator. Stab from Oak, no kill. Goes forward. Venator is, he's playing conservatively, but I think with Jan, you often want to play that way against Laszlo. You want to make use of your stabs, you want to make use of your reach. It's really on Oak to close the distance. The Maestro special looking better. Also, I'm curious how the movement feels, guys. Let me know, because what Kubel did is he increased the movement for everyone back to something very close to what it was, at least if we are to take him at his word. And Alexander was slowed down slightly. Which, to be clear, I didn't necessarily call for. I just wanted the movement reverted back to normal, but you know, I'm still pretty happy, assuming he did what he said he did in the patch notes, so we'll see how that plays out, I guess. Oak going ham. There's another flag for Oak. And I gotta say, like, as much as host doesn't matter as much as people think, assuming the connection is stable, he is still playing on a North American host as a Russian, and he's won so many fights. So, just being an absolute demon today with Laszlo. And so you guys might be wondering, since armies are kind of dropping like flies, what happens if nobody has armies or any orders to give? It's just like in Shogun 2 at that point. We take our turns of replenishment, and we skip turns, essentially. So not every turn will take, you know, give or take an hour or so, right? Some turns could literally take seconds as we, as the clans are just building up their forces again. There's a hit from Venator. Chop. Nice exchange between these two. Corkscrew doesn't land. Both of them playing a very good footsies game. Very high level Hellish Quart from both of them. That chop not quite securing the kill. It actually doesn't do as much damage as you think. It's not that it's not a reliable move, it's just that sometimes if it hits the body or it doesn't hit the head directly, it doesn't quite do the highest damage you could do with certain other cuts, like a regular Y or something like that. It's a tad lower in damage, so sometimes you will lose a trade. Oh, pause there. Hopefully that's not lag. Good to go. Venator's good to go. Oak might be getting some lag in my host, though. I hope that's not what's going on, what I think is going on. Okay. Super lag? Okay, I can probably get you onto Steam if we need to. Yeah, your ping doesn't look very good, so... Yeah, unfortunately, Oak sometimes gets this issue, but we can give him keyboard and he can just take over that side again, so... there you go, just use that link. Venator, you can stay on Parsec, that's not an issue. I just might have to restart the game later. Okay, keyboard. Alright, just let me know if you're good to go. Ooh, there's a hit. Yeah, interesting. I wonder if that's true for everybody. We should definitely test that more, because Parsec is traditionally the better option. So, yeah, for sure. I might consider doing that, actually. I don't know if I'll do a tourney or another session of this exact event on Thursday, but I'll definitely do something Thursday. Because I'll be going back to university pretty soon, so I want to get as many events done as I can. I should still be able to host this event on, like, Sunday or something like that, but for a time. Because I'm not going straight into my practicum yet. I still have to take a course first, but... Because they make you take this really long-ass course for, from Monday to Thursday before you go back in, so... But Oak takes it. 12-9. And this is massive. You guys are not switching sides, though. You're staying in the same sides. The Oda have lost another army. So you guys can fight again. If that wasn't super clear. Just 1 second. I'll make sure Venator... Yeah, you're playing again. Good question. You have Bara, Samuel, Marta, and Isabella. Yeah, excellent. He's listening. I'm gonna go with Marta the Pike. troops this time, if you will. The wall of pikes, as Tao calls it. Let's see how it goes. Venator's actually a pretty decent Marta, from what I've seen. He definitely knows about back Y. He's seen Ezekiel play as well. Very familiar with his style. He might try to emulate that here. A lot of players who don't traditionally play Rapier, they're still at least good with one Rapier character. Oak has been called the Marie Goat before, for example. I feel like it's a meta that everyone at least somewhat familiarizes themselves with, because Rapiers play very differently for everyone else. Even though they're not necessarily stronger, especially if we're talking about Marie, although Marta is pretty strong. Okay, got pinged about something. Goes low there. Nice hit from Oak. Oh, okay, something unrelated. Oh, that first hit bounced off her boobs or something. But oh, got it. That's funny. Oh, got it again there. Yeah, Oak is actually pretty familiar with fighting point weapons with Laszlo. Whether it's Marie or Calc or these other characters, so... I think a lot of the same principles apply here, but I think Venator's pick was intelligent. Generally, Laszlo doesn't like getting stabbed. I think Oak is just a beast with Laszlo. I think that's really what it's coming down to here. And so to the clans, if you do lose like all of your armies and you're worried about being eliminated right from the get-go, there is a last stand mechanic if you're down to your last territory. And clans, if they want to go just eat up all your territory, they do have to consume turns to do so. And at which point they can't move for the rest of that turn. So you're not just going to get wiped off the map instantly if somebody decides to attack you. But it is a rough spot to be in. So you definitely don't want to lose all your armies right away. But I gotta say, Oak is going ham with Laszlo, and this is huge for the Takeda team. They've taken out, what, 6 armies at this point with 1. Well done to Oak. I'm sure he'll be rewarded with some lands by his lord for his valiant effort there. So the Oda have lost all 3 of their armies. Just make sure. Yeah, this should be showing up for everybody. Oh, again, we deleted the map. There we are. Perfect. All right. So the Takeda have essentially wiped out the Mori armies for the time being, and they have wiped out the Oda armies. But if Oak wants to take Kyoto right now, it's pretty difficult with 1 army, but you can try. And, you know, it looks like that was the intention from the get-go, so we will move forward with another fight. So, Oak, you have to duel me, the Shogun, now. Are you ready to go? Up to Venu? Yeah. Well, Venu's armies can't move, so if Kyoto is to be taken, you gotta just move now, so... Commands you to attack, yeah. Yeah, to be clear, when it comes to Kyoto, you're actually not... You're not technically forced to attack, but... I assume that's the intention of the order, so. Alright. Yeah, you're attacking. Excellent. Alright. This will definitely be the last battle of the turn. And I don't think we'll do special events or anything like that. It's just, the game's not. Oh yeah, you're still on Steam. I was about to send you a Parsec link. Don't worry about that. If you're still on Steam, we can just go. Beautiful. So, I don't think I said, like, what character I would use or anything like that, but since the Ashikaga clan it was famously weak, you can stick to the left side, by the way, that's fine. I'm gonna use somebody I'm unfamiliar with. I'll try Yazuk. And Oak, obviously, you gotta go Laszlo or some other character that you clan has available to you. We're going with someone flamboyant who's not. Windows was frozen. Interesting. Or the Steam window, you mean? Yeah. Oh. Okay. Okay, you're going on Parsec? Alright, let's try Parsec. Oh yeah, I'm being. Alright, yeah. Nice, so think about what orders you guys want to send. For the future turn, let's make it go as smoothly as we can. But take your time, don't feel rushed. It's okay if you're not ready, literally right when the turn starts. Oh, nice. Took my hand right off.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea. Oh, by the way, this isn't Venator fighting. This is me fighting. But just continue, Oak. This is the Shogun fighting. These traitorous Takeda have attacked my palace. Yeah, I see that, Venu. Don't worry. Just, pretend that's not the case. Half AFK? Alright, yeah. That's fine. I will say the movement feels better. Even for Yazlik. And Oak is looking good too with that, so that's good.
Oh yeah.
By the way, guys, if other clans are having issues with showing up, like there's something's coming up or whatever, and you guys want to call it quits, like feel free to let me know as well. I did want to go for 3 hours, but we don't have to. necessarily go for 3 hours if that's just not gonna work for people. I get that Tuesday can be rough. And we can pick this up another time, probably Thursday actually. I'm willing to replace my usual events with that, this event for the time being, just to make sure we can get it done. We won't necessarily finish it that day, but we'll do another session. So many doubles in this matchup of all things. And by the way, I'll stick with Yazek for the rest of this event too. Yazek will be the character I will play if you attack Kyoto. If that was unclear. I didn't want to use Barabash just in case, like, Kyoto becomes impossible to take or anything like that. The Ashikaga Shogun, it's not supposed to be a military power, so... Bit ironic considering they are the military rulers of Japan, quote unquote, at the time, but they don't have much power in practice, so... Still wanted to be a fight, but not. Because in the game, it is an actual fight. They at least have a good fortress and stuff, so... Nice. Well done. That was quite a fight, though. Wow. Mentally exhausting, but not in a bad way. Wow. That was great. But what can I say? Oak has taken Kyoto at this point, and that means the Takeda currently hold it. All right, let me make sure we add that and also save it too. That'd be good. Yeah, just make sure that it's all saved, and then let's go colors. Yeah, so at this point, the Takeda hold Kyoto. The Ashikaga shogunate has been overthrown, and they have not lost an army. The Takeda clan are in excellent position here, and as you can see, they have taken this Oda territory as well. So the Oda clan have suffered immensely from this. Quite a turn of events there. And so, let's head back to the map showing the armies. The Oda clan currently have no army, so we skip their turn. The Mori clan have no army, so we're skipping their turn. The Takeda have sent orders, so I'm going to ask the Date now if you guys could send me your orders. We can move on to the turn. Oh my goodness. All right. There is an alliance going on between the two forces that have an army. I mean, this is a pretty decisive victory for the Takeda here. The Oda clan are not looking good. We'll see what the Mori can do, maybe. But Venator might be able to. No, it's not quite GG yet, to be clear. It's just looking very, very bad for the Oda. You guys must hold Kyoto for 6 turns. You don't need to keep an army there, to be fair. Um, so you actually like don't need to hold with an army per se to be considered holding it, but it does need to be like it does need to remain within your territory all the same. But it can be sweet from you if you're not careful. So that is something to watch out for. But at this point, with turn 1, you have taken Kyoto. Okay, I'm just noting everything down here so that we know what's going on for next event. Tao and the Takeda appear to be communicating amongst themselves. They'll be deciding what to do next. I'll just look at what orders have been sent to me. I won't play them out just yet. There's literally nothing the other clans can do. They just gotta hold the fort, hope that their last stand will keep them in the game. Oak has just done amazing work. And by the way, I know this map doesn't have the updated colors. Like I said, I'll transfer this one to Dungeon Fog later on. And so it'll be the updated map with the armies we can add and whatnot as we need. The nice thing about continuing this on Thursday too is I don't have to get people signing up. We can just carry on where we ended off. So let me see what orders I've got. I won't see them. Okay. So the Takeda have sent their orders in. Tell you what, while we're waiting for orders from the Date, we will take a quick break. And we'll see if the orders are completed by then. Obviously, the Date are carefully considering their next move, but we'll pick it up very, very soon. See you guys in a little bit. Okay, we are back. So the orders have been brought in. Again, I don't know why Discord is behaving this way. Actually, I gotta close out, come back in. So, just to brief you on what's just happened, the Oda have lost all their forces, but they have had a turn of replenishment. So, including this turn, 3 more, they will get their armies back. But the Takeda have sent their orders, and what they are doing is actually very smart. They are sending 2 armies to different territories. They've already taken this one, as you can see here. But I want to point out that it's not GG for the Oda just yet. So the Oda do get a chance to at least stay in the game with a last stand, but they do lose another territory. Well, Vinu wasn't exactly clear which territory he wanted taken, but just that he was attacking both of them. So I assume the one adjacent to the territories he already took is the one that he wants to be Takeda right now. So we'll do that. Also, I think that's a different shade of red. Anyway, it looks similar enough. Anyway, the Oda do have this territory here, the Wakayama prefecture on the map. They do get a chance to do a last stand, and that'll be a Shogun 2 style field battle. And let me just look at the Date orders, make sure I got them exactly right. So the Date have formed an alliance with the Takeda clan. So they moved to Kyoto, but not as conquerors, as friends of the Takeda shogunate. They are currently on Kyoto, moving their 3 spaces. And I'll just move this over a little bit. Yeah, they're all in Kyoto. So you're about to Venu, but there's a catch. They get a chance to do a last stand. So I explained this in the rules earlier, but they will have to fight a Shogun 2 battle. Yes, I hear you, Tao, but they still get a chance to do a last stand. And so the Oda will not get an army if they win this. They'll still, but they'll be able to stop Venu from taking over their final territory if they win with the one army. But from the way things are looking, they'll have to fight twice. So they'll have to fight 2 battles at the very least to stay in the game and win both of them. And they won't be Hellish Court, they'll be Shogun 2. Is that making sense? So, Piper, if you're still around, because Warden had to go, give you a chance to get in some action. And this will be the last major thing we'll do, and then that'll conclude the turn. And then we'll conclude the event with that. Alright, so I think I can just host the match. Just let me think here. So, Venu will be in a voice chat with me, I think. And I will just follow his orders. I think that's how we'll do it. Just so that we have 2 impartial, well, relatively impartial operators. Do not just throw for your team, obviously, guys. Listen to their orders. Go into a voice chat with the Oda clan members. So, Chisus. And obviously we'll try and keep things secret from each other, so I will be on a like be right back screen or something like that while we go through like what armies we're gonna use and all the rest of it. I will still broadcast like what I'm doing. It'll be delayed. Shogun 2 is pretty quick, so unless somebody else can play for us, but I don't think we can do that. So okay, so I will transfer to a different voice chat for just a moment. And I promise the event's still going on. I'll just be on Be Right Back while we work out our strategy and stuff like that. All right.
Okay, so we see them now. Okay.
Yes, we do. So up to you. What you want me to do? You're the general.
Yeah, I would just like to. I would just like the infantry to march forward slowly in the formation they're in right now.
Okay.
Same with the cavalry, but as we get closer to them, I'd like the cavalry to go a little bit farther to the left and to the right,
Okay.
so we can kind of flank them a little bit wider.
Okay.
And the general to just follow the infantry
Okay.
closely. Are we able to see what they have from here?
Yes, we can. Do you want to have a look quickly?
Yeah, just
Sure.
to have an idea of.
So they got light cavalry, light cavalry, light cavalry. So those are lighter horsemen. They can still charge with lances if need be, but not as good. They've got a great guard and a general right here. Oda Nobunaga himself. Interesting. You can actually bring the daimyos, but they're more expensive. I don't think they're that helpful personally,
Not
but
cost efficient, I would assume.
yeah. But it is an option.
Mm-hmm.
They've got
Okay,
firebomb throwers.
Could you turn the cavalry a little bit to face the enemy?
Sure.
So these ones, yeah, like
Want
this,
a
so
double
we
time?
can kind of. No, it's fine. Just walk.
Okay.
And let's wait for the infantry a little bit.
Okay.
Can I pre-move like in chess? If, for example, if they charge our infantry, I
Not
want to
really,
just.
no. There is
Okay,
fire
okay.
at will though. Fire at will is kind of like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can see what they're doing.
No, what I meant is, can I tell you what I would like you to do in
Sure,
case
yeah,
they
yeah,
do
yeah.
something? Okay. Yeah, so if they attack our infantry, I would just... okay, let's send our infantry to this infantry. And the cavalry... Yeah, just the same way
is
as...
cavalry.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's cavalry, okay. Yeah, just flank this cavalry.
With the
from
cavalry
left
charge?
with the yeah, let's charge.
Okay. All of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will just operate them as
Yeah,
three
I'll-
separate units, like cavalry on the left. But don't charge to the farther infantry, just to this cavalry unit which is closer to us. And the infantry should go to attack them as well. Just slowly,
Yeah.
no hurry. And the cavalry on the right should come to the middle as well.
Okay.
Ignore this guys that goes to the right. We just yeah. Okay, the cavalry on the left pull back a little bit behind our infantry.
Okay.
Looks good. Yeah, so the cavalry on the right, let's go to the middle.
Yeah.
Attack the cavalry in the middle.
Alright, anything you want to do with these horsemen?
Yeah, let's charge the closest enemy.
Alright, and these
And
infantry.
let's attack with the infantry, whatever is closest.
I love it, just go get them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I will cycle charge with the cavalry occasionally, just because they don't
Yeah,
want to
we'll
sit still
just
too
let
long.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, attack them.
But I'll keep attacking as you're ordering until you tell
It's
me
hard to
otherwise.
keep track of which of our units are where at this point, but
Yeah.
let's pull this cavalry away. Or is it infantry? Yeah, it's infantry?
There's infantry and cavalry. Yeah.
Okay, let
Oh.
them attack.
Wow.
It seems like we're winning, I'm
Yes.
not sure, but
Yeah.
it would be good.
All right. What do you want to do
I
with
see a lot of red.
the rest of the army?
So the cavalry in the middle, let's attack the right flank.
Okay.
And the cavalry,
My lord,
yeah, these guys,
A
let them
glorious
go back as
victory
well.
will soon be yours.
If we have any infantry left, yeah, seems like we do. Let's let them.
Yeah,
Okay, I don't even know.
we're just gonna go get him.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's Takeda cavalry for you.
Yep. Heavy charge cavalry is pretty nice.
Oh
to
wow, we
have.
got an achievement too, Berserk Charge. Well, I did.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. That's using no ranged units. It's pretty tough, usually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, so I disconnect now and I go back to the stream, right?
yeah, that's totally
done,
fine.
okay.
The Oda clan
Alright,
are
cool.
in trouble, so they're done.
Okay, nice.
Alright. Not gonna lie, I was a little concerned, but obviously I didn't voice it, when Oak was assembling the army, not because he was taking advantage of Takeda cavalry, that was wonderful on his part. But it was a lot of cavalry and not much infantry, and that's not usually how I do it. Obviously, I didn't tell him that. I was like, "Yep, go ahead." It's his army, but yeah, he did well as a commander and used the cavalry properly, I would say. So well done to Oak. Oh shoot, I didn't see that, Piper. I'm so sorry. I actually don't know. That's not how I usually advance my units. Yeah, I just thought you guys were ready to go, so I didn't see that. Anyway, the result is pretty self-explanatory. The Oda clan have been eliminated after this battle, and the Takeda have taken their territory. And actually, we're ending exactly on schedule, so we could do another turn theoretically, but I did promise like 3 hours, and we've hit that mark at this point where it's almost 2 o'clock my time. So big things have happened today. The Takeda clan have become the shoguns, the de facto shoguns of Japan. The Mori clan have had their armies destroyed. Oh yes, wait, Venu actually, and I can be transparent about it now because the order will play out. Venu did send me something else too. He did tell me to send a Takeda unit here. So I'll do that as well. The Takeda have taken a territory from the Mori, and there's nothing they can do about that. So I'll play that out now and color that in. So you guys can look at that message if you think this is a little suspicious, but note the Takeda have also taken this territory. All right, well, the event went better than I expected. I was worried it was going to be really chaotic, and obviously it was very complicated, but ended up working out in the end. We've got a big alliance between the Date and the Takeda. The Mori clan will have to somehow withstand this push, but to the Mori, just so it's clear, you do have 2 turns to get all of your armies back. You'll get all 4 of them back within 2 turns, but you have lost the territory. So it's a race to take the Mori clan out, and we'll see how things play out next time. This was a pretty exciting event. Thank you all for showing up and being active. I know it's tough to, especially when an event is confusing, it's very tough to remain active and whatnot, but you guys did a great job of that. If you have any suggestions for the next time we do an event like this, reminder, of course, the Takeda have not won the game yet, but they are on course to win the game. Let me know. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time.